Hi guys, welcome back to another Entrepreneur Diaries video. And in today's video, I am just going to get real honest and going to have some, I don't want to say deep conversations, but we're going to get real honest around here today. Okay. So these are just kind of like, as y'all know, when I do these Entrepreneur Diaries, it's giving me a way to just talk about things that I'm feeling as an entrepreneur that is growing and scaling a business in real time. So that's what today's video is about. And I can tell you that when I think of how I want to film these, I have been doing notes and voice memos. I may be driving and I might be like, I have this quick thought. Let me just record my voice note and then keep it pushing. Because, sometimes entrepreneurship can feel lonely and you can feel crazy. And I was talking to my cousin the other night and I was like, you have to be like a different level of crazy to enjoy this. Like you really do. Because imagine like you have an idea, okay? You to actually grow to come up with an idea, to create a website, to do email marketing, to post on social media, to talk about yourself, to talk about your business, to sell to people. And for some people who have a clothing brand, to work with a designer to create clothes, to sell. For me, I have a bookstore. So it's to grow a community. And I now want to do custom stuff like totes and hoodies and sweatshirts and all those things to bring in more revenue. So to trust in yourself, I feel like for me, I'm okay, there's a couple things I'm struggling with. One, I'm kind of struggling with trusting in my decisions and my choices that I make for warm pages. Because in the beginning, when I first did the hype, I unfortunately fell for, and I know better, but you get so wrapped up in so many people being like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to shop. And then like you get all this product. That's where I went wrong. Don't ever, 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 ever flood or get a bunch of product to begin with. And I still didn't feel like I got a bunch of product, but I had let the hype of everyone like following me and checking out the page and everything to where I had started adding extra products when I should have just kept it with the low, low, low inventory that I had to begin with, because now I have all this extra product that's just sitting around and I'm trying to sell and I want to get more products. And it's like, yeah, so I think I'm just struggling, especially when I'm leaning more towards creating custom items. And it's like you don't want to share your designs too early to where, to be honest, I'm like, well, I don't want nobody to take my idea, but I'm also scared to just create it and then everybody's like not rocking with it. So I am finding the trust in myself to be like, okay, Diamond, this may work, this may not work, but you just have to try and give it your all. Like even now when I'm looking for new inventory to put onto the site, I'm like, I know my market audience. I know what might work and what may not work, but I'm just hoping that this product sells, basically. And I really want to get out that mindset. And I had somebody remind me like, hey, Dominic, like, you are building like a legit like community of people who are rocking with you, who are like standing 10 toes behind you, that will be interested in the things that you are creating. And I'm just like, thanks for that reminder. I know, but and imposter syndrome is crazy. Like imposter syndrome is literally like 10 times greater for me, at least, now that like I've built a community and I've built people like actually following me for like my journey and the things that I want. But also in return, I'm telling myself like, this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. This is what you have been hoping for. This is me talking to myself. When you were building warm pages, this is exactly what you wanted. So it's like, I also have been struggling in sitting in my success because I feel like I'm such a go, 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 go. Like, I'm just gonna get to the next thing, get to the next thing. Okay, that's cool. Oh, that's amazing. Get to the next thing, get to the next thing. And it's like, okay, but look what you've done. Look what you've done. You've built a page. Do y'all know how hard it is to grow on Facebook? I got like 146 followers on Facebook. Do you know how hard it is to grow on Facebook as a business? When I'm reposting, retweeting, answering emails, I don't sit back and really take in everything that I do on a day-to-day basis because I'm just trying to get to this quote unquote success. Like I'm just trying to get to this point. And then I'm like asking myself, like, what does success look like for me? Like when you start a business, obviously, and it's like, okay, real talk. Okay, real talk. It's a business. I love everything about Warren Pages. I love everything. I love the community. I love the fact that we're growing. I love the fact that we can be a resource for Black women in the book community, all creatives, entrepreneurs. Like, I love that. But at the end of the day, Warren Pages is a business that has to profit. And so I want to provide all these things, but I have to stop being scared to I want to provide all these things, make it accessible, but also make profit. And there's a thin line between I value people's money and their time. If I charge you a price, best believe I'm charging you a price that I think is worthy of the price. Because I never want to charge something and someone does not get their money's worth. I think like a consumer. Because I know I'd be looking at these prices like, what the hell am I paying $30 for? You know, like what am I getting out of it? You know, at the end of the day, Warren Pages is a business that has to profit. And I know it's going to be easier when I actually physically have a building because there's so many added extra layers. So then I don't have to worry about venue fees because I have my own venue. And then it's like I could charge tickets on the lower end because I can offer, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I know this would be easier if I actually physically had a space because then we have book inventory, then we can host authors, we can do book club there. I could host other book clubs there. So it's like I have to really sit down and like figure those things out, you know? Entrepreneurship is weird because you could feel and look super successful from the outside looking in via social media. I probably look so successful. I feel successful most days. But at the same time, I don't feel successful. At the same time, I'm like, yeah, but I'm still struggling day by day, paycheck to paycheck, trying to find that hero product that's going to really push the needle in my business. And it's like, I feel like I'm in between. I'm always balancing back and forth between like feeling successful, but feeling like what am I doing? Feeling like I'm making a lot of accomplishments, but also feeling like it's not enough that's happening. And so it's like, but then I have to remind myself of everything I've done so far and all the accomplishments that I've done so far and how fast this has scaled for me so far. But when you hit that big momentum, it's almost like, you know, that's why you can't get caught up in the numbers. And it's almost like you're continuing to chase that momentum because it feels good. Of course, it feels great. Every time I post about Warren Pages, I get like a brand new wave of like new people. Like we're still small and there's so many people out there in the world. And every day people are discovering Warren Pages. So it's like every once in a while I might make a video. And I haven't made one of those videos in a minute. Like every few weeks or so I would be like, hey, I'm Diamond, building Warren Pages. I founded this, my dream and everything behind it. I haven't made one of those videos in a minute, but every single time I make one of those videos, it hits. And it hits good. Making like having people um write articles about me, having people create social media posts about me, being shouted out, people buying from my shop, talking about me on social media, like talking about Warren Pages on social media, not even me, talking about Warren Pages, talking about the mission behind it. Like it literally is always so surreal. I'd be like, pinch me, is this real? For real? And it's like I'm going into February with two events. Um, and we have actually four events coming up in the next couple of months. So it's like it's just so crazy to me. It's just so crazy to me. And it's like I have to remind myself all the accomplishments that I've done so far to continue to motivate myself and be like, no, Dom, you actually are doing the damn thing. You're only in year two, you know? But it's like I also consume a lot of business content. I consume successful business owners, I consume beginner business owners. I watch podcasts, I listen to people create and how they grew their business and scale their business. And a lot of people, um, you're looking at their success, but they may be on year five, year six, year seven of business, and I'm only on year two. I'm on year two of Warm Pages, but I've been on this entrepreneurship journey since like I want to say 2020, 2021. So I've been on this journey for a minute. And then it's like every time you do good, every time you scale, you have to scale further. And I was telling my cousin, the farther you go up and the more you look down, the farther that fall is. So you have to be grateful and enjoy where you are in each step of your business. Because if you continue scaling and scaling and scaling, like one day I'm going to have a building, one day I'm going to have employees, one day I'm going to be employing people and having people on payroll. Like, so it's like now you have more people on your back. Now you have more people that's dependent on you, people that you are paying checks to. So you have to keep your business afloat. So you see, like, it's just more added pressure. And it's like for me, I feel the pressure of being like, okay, I want a physical building. Okay, how am I going to get there? Okay, I don't necessarily want to take out a loan and like that's such a big ask. And it's like, okay, but at the same time, it's like I want to get this. I'm just so ready to get to this next stage. And it's like, okay, when you get to that next stage and you have a physical location, you have to mentally be prepared for that physical location, you know? So I'm mentally preparing myself now, mentally getting myself ready together now, preparing and having systems in place so I don't make the process difficult for me then. Figuring out when I want to be open, days I want to be open, hours I want to be open, what I want to offer my employees. Like, and I'm such a giving person that like I want to give the most that I can. Sorry, y'all. I needed to answer that right then, right there. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I need to put my phone do not disturb. Actually need to turn it down like this so I don't get distracted by it. So yeah. Ooh, what was I saying? I just feel like two things can be true at the same time. I could feel very, very successful in my business, but also feel like I need to be doing more. And I also need to prioritize reflection, journaling, and actually being like, no, Diamond, like you're doing the damn thing. You launched your business. You talk about your business every day. You post about your business every day. You put in the hours, you put in the work. You it may not feed you financially for a minute, but that day will come if you just continue to work on it. And I made a threads post about this that like consistency is literally the most important thing in all aspects of your life. Okay. Even more when you're building something, because when it hits and when it hits, it feels really good. When it hits, it feels amazing. But then it's also, if, I'm trying to say, like, it feels good. And then you're also building the blueprint because then you have all this work to show for it that like I've been doing this just for the fun of it. Or you know how they say, like, it looks like it's success overnight until someone sees how much work you've actually put into it. And also, I seen a video, a TikTok video, and it still stuck with me. My leg is getting tired of being up there. It still stuck with me that you, rather that's your business, relationship, friendship, whatever. I feel like we live in a day and age where posting about your business and looking successful online feeds you in a way. But you have to remember that you have to still work on these things outside of social media. And some things you do, you won't get clapped for. No one sees you working on your business late at night. No one sees you waking up early before work to work on your business, pack orders, send out emails, talk to people before you go clock into your 9 to 5. Nobody sees the long hours you put into it, the tears that you may have. When I went to that social event, I think it was like a month ago or something like that, and the guy who opened up a physical location, and it was just him, not physical, like, it was about a man, and he was talking about in the beginning stages of when he had his business. It's a very cool concept, by the way. He talked about how after each shift he would leave and then just go sit and cry because he felt so overwhelmed about everything that was going on in the beginning stage. So it's like nobody sees that. Nobody sees the tears that goes on behind closed doors. The moments that you have to pick yourself up and keep going because you may have been having a bad day, or you may have been struggling, or you may be having family issues, friendship issues, relationship issues, but you still have to show up for your business. Everything just recently, Thursday, I'm going about my life. I leave my mom's house. Somebody did a hit and run on my car. Hit my car, knocked out the side mirror, scraped it all up. And I'm sitting there like, ain't no way. And I'm thinking, I got a content day on Saturday. Somebody wanted to meet me on Friday. I have to finalize book club on Tuesday. Business don't stop because my life got crazy. It don't. It don't. And I allowed myself to feel the emotions that I had, but I also told myself, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going, because what I'm going to do, sit in my feelings when I could just continue working towards my goals? I allowed myself to sit. I allowed myself to scream, cry, look up to the sky and say, God, why? Bars? No, but for real. Like you get to a point where you just like, what? Like, come on now. Come on. What we doing? You know? And it's just like, yeah. But at the same time, Friday, I had a meeting and I got an editing opportunity, a great editing opportunity. So in the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of me feeling down, wondering what was going to happen, good news was also on the way. So it's like, yeah, it's just like, for me, it's really just figuring out what business, I don't know. That's where I am now. So it's the new year. It is the 12th day. New year, 12th day of the new year. And here I am. Also, the world is so loud and chaotic and sad and feel very hopeless that it also makes me feel crazy for even, and I felt like this several times after November, after the elections. I felt like this. I felt like, what was the point? What was the point? Every day is something new. Every day people are real life, real deal struggling. And then I sit here and I think about just how grateful I am. And also when my car got hit, um I thought about how it could be worse. My car could have been undrivable. Like, as much as it sucks that I don't have a side mirror and I got scrapes and stuff, they could have hit my car so much worse to where I couldn't be even driving it right now. So even though I was just like, I have all these things to do this weekend, I still was able to do them. I just got a messed up car on the driver's side. You know, I might be twisting my neck, breaking it, trying to look in the back to make sure I ain't hit nobody, and I may feel so unsure about driving, need to get over on the left side, but I make it work. But it's like I also, in the midst of all the chaos, was like, you know what, Diamond? This could be worse. This could actually be so much more worse. But I allowed myself to feel my feelings, and I got back and I got it together. So here we are. The first entrepreneur diaries of 2026. But yeah, y'all, if y'all rocking with this series, let me know what you thought about today's video. And I just want to say, like, if you are a entrepreneur, if you are a entrepreneur, a content creator, or just building something, it's not easy. It's not easy. And I feel like sometimes I make it look easy. Even when I'm struggling, I make it look easy. My mind literally never stops. But yet I still try to find, in this new year, I told myself that I was going to try to find the joy in every day and just be grateful that these are my struggles. I'm struggling trying to grow a business, you know? So, yeah. I just think that's crazy. But I'm not going to keep y'all for too long. This video is already 28 minutes long. I don't want to make these super long. I still want to make them enjoyable. This is not a podcast. This is just me yapping away. But I'm definitely going to make another one because I have some more things to say. But yeah, if you rock with this video, if you like it, give it a like, subscribe. I post stuff like this. I post vlogs, stuff, things. I just try to keep it real. I try to give y'all like my real thoughts as I am literally growing something for the first time ever, growing something. And yeah, I will see y'all in my next video. It'll probably be a vlog, so make sure y'all stay tuned. And I hope y'all have a great day. Stay safe, stay protected, take care of your loved ones, and I will see y'all next time.